hit down door, box down people and say, hey, move out of my way because I am here. Besties, in today's video, I will be talking about some of the new releases that I've accumulated over the past couple of months. Now, I made a pact with myself and I said, you know what, girl, this year you're going to be a bit more frugal. Frugal where when I was putting this list together, I was like, how did you end up with so many new releases? But you know what? I feel like it's my duty to come on here and share with you fragrances that I feel like are worth getting your nose on and just save you the trouble of wasting your money. So if you want to see the fragrances on today's list, then please continue to watch. And if you are new here, my name is Shellz. I cover fragrance, beauty, and lifestyle, just about anything. So if that sounds like your type of vibe, I welcome you to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and drop me some comments down below so we can get to know each other. So I'm going to kick things off with a fragrance that I recently reviewed on my channel. And this one is the newest from the house of Dolce & Gabbana, and this one is Your Devotion. If you like a fruity, gourmand-esque type of fragrance, I believe you're really going to enjoy this one. It opens up very bright and sparkling with that Sicilian melon that's in here. And then you have a fresh, slightly creamy orange blossom in the mid. But to me, the magic happens in the dry down when you get that vanilla milk. It smells very beautiful. I feel like this is an easy fragrance to understand. There's nothing complex about it. Super feminine. You have to like feminine, girly girl fragrances to jive with this one. But don't think immature. This is just a bubbly, fun fragrance that is going to garner a lot of compliments. And I don't know, they're not listing any woody notes in the base, but there's something in the undertone that is pulling a little bit woody, maybe soft, spicy, like maybe there's a sandalwood or something in here. It's almost as if it's tickling my nose just a little bit. I feel like that slight woodiness that I'm picking up on adds a little substance to this fragrance. This is for persons who are starting out their fragrance journey. They're slowly building their collection. Or even a seasoned perfume collector like myself will appreciate a fragrance like this because it's easy. Not too simple of a scent profile, but it's doing just enough if you're going brunch with your girls, if you're going to the movies, maybe evening date kind of situation. So that's what I'm getting from this fragrance. If you have an extensive collection, this might be a bit underwhelming for you, but overall it is a beautiful fragrance. I like it, but I am still a bit on the fence as to whether or not I'll be picking up a full bottle. But we'll see. Let me just get through this travel size and then let's see what I decide when this is finished. So again, this one is a beautiful release from the house of Dolce & Gabbana. All right, so this next one is one I picked up on a whim, kind of, in Ulta. I feel like this was an impulsive buy because after having it for maybe a month or two now, I am a bit underwhelmed. It is a nice fragrance, very easy everyday signature scent type of fragrance if you're into easy reach, fresh, citrusy, crisp type of fragrances. I feel like I was a bit swayed because of the guava note that is listed in here, and I am not getting much of it. The fragrance I'm talking about is Rinse Cycle from the House of Noise. Now, don't get me wrong, it is a beautiful fragrance. I just wished I would have gotten more of that guava, cherry blossom type of vibe. And you do get hints of maybe the cherry blossom, but the star of the show in this fragrance for me is the lemon. It is a very lemon forward scent. You have to like it crisp, lemony, slightly zesty to like this type of fragrance. It's also a bit musky. But if you like, you know, easy reach fragrances, nothing that is overly complex, I feel like you're gonna jive with this. This fragrance is perfect for those hot summer days that we are experiencing right now. Mm. I don't know though. Would I say run out and grab this? I don't think I would. But if you're looking for a clean scent profile that is under $100, then I would definitely say go for this one. It's like a more fruity, slightly elevated version of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. Not saying they smell alike, but this fragrance is in those realms. It's that zingy, citrusy type of scent profile. Funny enough, this wasn't a blind buy, you know. My hubby and I tested it in store and I was like, ooh, it smells really nice. The opening smells very, very nice on the skin. But as it started to dry down, I feel like it didn't develop. You know, it just stayed pretty linear. There are not a lot of layers to this fragrance. It kind of stayed the same throughout. You know what I mean? I wished the interpretation was a bit different is all I'm gonna say. So if you're into those type of scent profiles, get your notes on this one. Rinse Cycle from the House of Noise. This next fragrance was a blind buy success. The notes screamed to my feminine self. Okay, and this one is from the House of Henry Rose, and this one is Ripe. You see how I'm smiling from ear to ear? That's exactly how this fragrance makes me feel. It's just uber feminine. It gives me that little whimsical, giddy type of feeling, you know, reminding me of my youthful exuberance, you know, young, fun Shellz. You know, at that point in my life when my responsibilities were minute and, you know, I didn't have to worry about anything. I was just carefree, happy-go-lucky. That's this type of fragrance. It has a beautiful watermelon and lychee in the opening that you do get. This to me is a realistic, juicy watermelon type of fragrance. It has a fruity, fresh, diffused type of sweetness. The sweetness is not coming from any vanilla or it's not supported by those, you know, gourmand notes. The sweetness is coming from the fruits, and I really do like that. It has a very beautiful rose in here. So to me, this is like a fresh, aquatic, dewy type of fragrance that smells very modern, very feminine, and very playful. If you want to be your fun self, this is a fragrance I feel like you will love a lot. It is so, so beautiful. I smell this and all I can think of is eating a juicy, ripe watermelon, you know, maybe sitting by the water or you're, you know, in the fields or the meadow, just having a picnic with your person. It's just one of those days when you're having those light-hearted conversations. That is where my mind goes when I think of this fragrance. It smells so, so beautiful. What I was hoping for though, I wished this fragrance was a bit louder. Like, you know, I wish it projected a little bit more. But that is just a personal preference. I take nothing away from this fragrance. It smells beautiful. It makes me happy. You know, this is one of those fragrances that will be a mood booster for you. So I definitely feel like this one is worth a whiff. And this was a solid release from Henry Rose for 2026. Okay, so this next one is for my gourmand girlies. My girlies who like it a bit sweet and decadent in the summertime. But this one is not gonna stifle you. It's not gonna let you run for cover. And the fragrance I'm talking about is Pomegranate Princess from the House of Skylar. And if I'm being honest with you, I feel like the name is a little bit misleading. Because when you think of pomegranate, you think of a ripe, juicy, slightly tart kind of fruit. And I am picking up the fruitiness in the opening. But I feel like the gourmand notes kind of overtakes, you know, the fruitiness in here. You do get it, you know, but I'm getting more of that creamy, cakey type of vibe, but not at all overpowering. It is a light, fluffy kind of cake, you know, because it has a cake note, it has the frosting. So you get that creaminess, but you definitely have to jive with gourmand fragrances to pull for this one. And the more I'm smelling it, the more it is reminding me of strawberry pound cake from Bath and Body Works. This is a more perfume version of that fragrance. Maybe a bit more refined and not as sickeningly sweet, but that's exactly where my mind goes. But with all of that out of the way, this is a very easy fragrance too. I don't feel like this is gonna be offensive. It will be perfect for close quarter encounters. If you're going to your daytime fun events, your brunches, your breakfast parties, because we're in that time now, the season for all of those summer parties, maybe barbecue, stuff like that is where this is perfect for. I don't know if this is necessarily going to be for everybody, but I like it. There's also something a bit tart in here, and I think it's coming from that lemon, which is perfect because it keeps this fragrance a little bit fresh, so it doesn't get too sweet and annoying. Personally, this is a mood specific scent for me. While I love gourmand, I'm not gonna be in the mood to wear sweeter, more cakey type of fragrances all the time. But it is beautiful and I am happy to have her in my collection. So I feel like this is a decent release from the house of Skylar. Again, this one is Pomegranate Princess. Okay, so this next one, I feel like I'm cheating just a little bit because I am talking about 2026 releases. And I feel like this was released maybe late last year, but for whatever reason, we weren't able to get our hands on it until this year. So technically, it is a new release. Okay, don't come for me. Like, I literally have to make a conscious effort not to pull for it. It is such a beautiful, clean fragrance. When you think about sophisticated, clean, chic, put together, you know, opulent and elegant type of clean fragrance, then you pull for this one. Versace Crystal Emerald. And I am stunned. I am impressed. I love the direction, Versace went with this one. Like, I smell this and I think of rich auntie. I think of old money. It is so beautiful. And when I smell this fragrance, it puts me in the mind of two fragrances that I own. Those fragrances are, the opening reminds me of Eladaria from Creed, and then the dry down reminds me of Musk Therapy from Initio. It's as if those two came together, had a baby. They had this one. There's a rosebud note in here. There's sorbet. There's incense. I think there is lemon. There's also peach, pink pepper. Every time my husband wears this fragrance, him shut down the place. You understand me? This is a fragrance I have to keep reminding him, like, hey, slow your roll. Remember, it's mine, okay? But he loves it down. And don't feel like because my husband loves this is a masculine fragrance. It is by no stretch of the imagination a masculine fragrance. It smells beautiful, perfectly feminine if you're into more elevated, creamy, fresh fragrances, okay? Solid release from Versace. And I'm telling you, get your nose on this one. Trust me. So yeah, Crystal Emerald from Versace. This next one is giving me sunset glow energy. It's giving me goddess vibe, bronze skin, sophisticated, luxury vacation, radiant, alluring, and sexy. This was a solid release from the house of Balmain, and this one is called Destin. This is definitely giving me that exotic, tropical type of vibe that I really enjoy. Golden hour. You know what I mean? Yeah. But what I'm going to say, when I smell this fragrance, because it has such a distinct scent profile, my nose did not miss with this one. And I don't hear a lot of people making that comparison. This one has a stark resemblance to Divine from Jean-Paul Gaultier. It's that same exotic, creamy, tropical type of vibe. This has a realistic strawberry note in the opening. It's creamy, it's warm, it's very sensual. And after I did a little digging, I realized that it's the same nose behind the two fragrances. The nose behind this one is the Quentin Biche, and he's the one that also composed or, made Divine from Jean Paul Gaultier. And right away, it made sense to me because they are giving very similar vibes. Cannot take away the beauty of a fragrance that this is. It's worth the hype. I absolutely love it. Only thing is, it's giving a little bit of redundancy for me because it does remind me of that fragrance, but it smells beautiful. This is giving a little bit above a designer fragrance. This is giving niche quality, niche scent profile. If you don't own Divine, I would definitely say get your hands on this. But what I will say, if you do own Divine, you could still get this because to me, Divine is a powerhouse, a beast mode of a performer. This one is a little bit on the lighter side, but very elevated, very well composed, very refined and beautiful. This would make a beautiful, date night fragrance, perfect vacation fragrance, sunset hour type of fragrance. Very, very beautiful, worth the money. Just for me personally, because I have an extensive collection. The fact that it's reminding me of something else is the only thing that I will ding this fragrance for. I absolutely love it. And I feel like this was a solid, solid release from the house of Balmain. So again, this one is destined. Seldomly, you will hear me refer to a fruity fragrance as being sexy. But this one, something about this one is just sexy. It's a masterpiece in a bottle. And while this house is very challenging for me, this fragrance is one of the best releases for 2026. And this one is Alien Pulp from the house of Mugler. Listen, when you talk about a fragrance having somebody in a chokehold, this one has me in a chokehold. It a choke me, I fight for my life, and me I beg it for leg on my shirt. Oh my goodness. Mugler is a house that is a hit or miss for me. But this did not miss. It smells so good. It has a beautiful raspberry note in the opening that just adds that fun, feminine fruitiness to this fragrance. But what I love about it, it's not a tart raspberry because raspberry can be very sour. Not in here. But what I will say, you have to like jasmine because it is reeked up in here, okay? It still has that alien DNA in here, the original alien, the one in the purple bottle that is polarizing and that a lot of people don't like. The DNA is there, but dialed back and a little bit in the background. There is something in here that is pulling a bit vanilla and a bit musky, but my goodness, a masterpiece in a bottle. When I tell you this is a sexy, fruity floral that I have to be telling myself, girl, ease down. Look at the dent in here already. Like I have been enjoying this. It just smells so good. Not a juvenile fruity fragrance. It just smells very grown and sexy. Like it's very addictive. This will have your person being all over you. It is so, so beautiful. Oh my God, I'm so happy to have it in my collection. Like I went in store, I sprayed it on my skin, and besties, the rest was history. I could not stop thinking about this fragrance. This is another fragrance that was haunting me, plaguing me in my dreams. This was a solid, solid release. One of my favorite releases for 2026. So definitely get your nose on this one. Alien Pulp from the house of Mugler. Okay, so these are just a few of the fragrances that I have accumulated over the past couple of months. So if you want a part two, please let me know. So much for being frugal, right? But overall, I'm gonna say this. A few of the fragrances that I have purchased, I was impressed with. But the majority, I am very underwhelmed. These fragrance houses, they need to put on their thinking cap, go back to the drawing board and come up with some fragrances that are not giving redundant. Okay, like for us to be paying these exorbitant prices, come on, man. We need some uniqueness. We need some fragrances that are gonna blow our minds. Come on, man. I don't know. I don't know what y'all need to do, but do it. Okay? Let the fragrance match the price tag, is all I'm gonna say. But besties, I want to know. I haven't been able to get my nose on a lot of these fragrances. But tell me, what am I missing? Is there any fragrance out there that I need to get my nose on? One that you think is going to blow my mind, because already you see how underwhelmed I am. So let me know down in the comments. And if you have any of these fragrances, you know already, I want to know your thoughts. So sound off down in the comments. With that being said, I hope you have the most spectacular one. And I will catch you in another video. Bye.